Good morning. How's everybody doing? Happy Thursday. We're almost halfway through December. Less than 2 weeks to Christmas. Is everybody ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? So, yesterday we talked about overwhelm and we talked about our triad. We talked about how to manage our state, which is really what all of this is about. If you manage your state, you got everything. You don't manage your state, you don't have anything. That is a never ending theme of anything designed to help you make your life better. No matter how they language it, that's really what they're talking about. So, think about like smoking. Now, the cigarette companies here in the United States, we have sued the heck out of these guys. We have taxed the heck out of these guys. We have made their product so that it is very difficult to get. We've made it so that they have to put warning signs all over it. Everybody knows that smoking is one of the worst things that you can do for yourself. And yet, has it hindered these companies at all? Not one bit. They have plowed through like steamrollers and continue to make money like crazy and have figured out ways around it. Well, how do they do that? Why do they still stay successful? Well, the product is addictive for sure, and so that's certainly helpful, but that's not the only reason. When do people smoke? If you're a smoker, when do you smoke? Or let's say that yours is you overeat, or you eat sugar, or you eat whatever. Well, when do you do that? When are you compelled to do that? I'm going to offer to you the thought that it's probably when you're stressed. And you can language the word stressed in however way you want, overwhelmed, whatever. It's all the word for all of it is fear. Stress, anxiety, overwhelm, whatever. That's all fear. We can language all of that in terms of fear. So if you're a smoker, if you eat sugar, if you overeat, when do you do that? You do that when you're feeling those feelings of stress, overwhelm, whatever. Well, why? Because it changes your state. Cigarettes don't calm you down. The nicotine in cigarettes actually speed up your metabolism. That's one of the reasons that you can gain a little bit of weight when you quit smoking. One is because you compensate by eating stuff sometimes, but the other thing is nicotine is an upper. So why does it calm people down? When a smoker is stressed, they go have a cigarette and they feel calmer. Why? Because they take a deep breath. They go outside typically, so they're in the fresh air, and then they take a deep breath and then they let it out. If you went outside and simply took the deep breath, you would calm down. Why do people eat sugar when they're stressed? Again, sugar is an upper. It doesn't bring you down, it accelerates your metabolism. But what does it do? It changes how you feel. You know that when you eat that processed sugar, it's going to change how you feel. Why do you overeat? Because it'll fill your stomach full of food, the blood will go to your stomach for digestion, and you relax. All of these are ways to compensate for whatever it is that you're feeling. Instead of reaching for a cigarette or a gummy or a vape or whatever, when you're stressed or overwhelmed or feel anxiety or however you language the feeling, go outside and take a couple of deep diaphragmatic breaths and see how you feel. Go outside and go for a walk for 5 minutes. Take deep breaths. See how you feel. Go outside, go for a walk for 5 minutes, and think about nothing but things that you're grateful for and see how you feel different. Close your eyes. Don't walk while you're closing your eyes. Take deep diaphragmatic breaths. Put your hand on your heart. Think about things that you're incredibly grateful for and breathe that into your heart. Do that for 5 minutes. See if you feel better. All of these things are ways that we manage our state because we know the response that we're going to get. You watch a person that engages in nicotine in whatever way that they do it, and you'll see that after they take a hit of the nicotine, they calm down. When the chemical reaction in their body is exactly the opposite. They calm down because they take a deep breath and because they're certain they know what they're doing to their body is going to change their state. Same is true with sugar. Same is true with alcohol. So you get to the end of the day. With my generation, it was alcohol. So we get to the end of the day. You get to Friday, so it's tomorrow afternoon. Today's Thursday, depending upon when you're watching this video. So you get to Friday and you've had like an okay day and you feel okay, but you want to change your state. So what do? You go to a place and you drink alcohol, and what happens? You feel differently. You know your state is going to change. You know you're going to feel differently. So that's why people go do it. You also run into other people, so you don't know who you're going to see. So you get a little bit of variety out of that. You get a little bit of connection out of that. On a scale of 1 to 10, it's about a 5. But you know you're going to feel differently when you consume that particular chemical, and it's going to change and alter the state of your body. So you're going to feel differently. But here's the reality. You can do that without the chemical. That's the problem with antidepressants, is people can get on 1, 2, or 3, 4 antidepressants and still feel depressed because your body will overwhelm that. Whatever it is that you want to feel, your body will feel it no matter what the chemical makeup is of your body. Smokers calming down when they take a hit off a cigarette shows that. They can put you under hypnosis and touch you with an ice cube and tell you that it's a hot poker and you'll blister. And then when you wake up and realize and they tell you that it was an ice cube and not a hot poker, the blister will go away. How does that happen? Because the mind can control all of it. The mind can control the body. When we do our fire walks at a UPW, which, by the way, is just a metaphor, it's just to show you that something has happened, that something is possible, that something you thought was impossible is possible. It's not, you don't have to go walk on fire if you don't want to. You're not made to. It's just a metaphor. But people occasionally, when they do the fire walk, will get a hot spot. They'll get one tiny little blister. Well, first of all, the coals are like, for real, they're 2,500 degrees. You melt aluminum at 1,200 degrees. They're incredibly hot. So if you were actually going to burn, which is a term we don't use, but if that was actually going to happen, it would really happen. It wouldn't be just one blister. You would get a whole series of blisters. You would get injured. But you don't. You get one blister. Well, why do they get one blister? To prove to themselves that they did it. We'll walk 10,000 people and we'll get 2 or 3 or 4 who will get a hot spot. They will say, oh, I've got a little hot spot. Okay, so we'll look at the hot spot. And the next day they'll come to us, and every time happens the same way. They'll come to us and say, I woke up in the morning and it was gone. How's that possible? That actually happened to me once on one of my walks. I've done 35 or 6 now fire walks, 36 I think. And that happened to me once where I got a hot spot after walking. I'm like, why the heck did I get a hot spot? Well, how you show up to the fire is how you show up to life, and that's how I was showing up to life. It was there to teach me a lesson. And when I got the lesson, I woke up the next day and my hot spot was gone. The point of all of this is we control how we feel, and we can use drugs, prescription, recreation, or otherwise in order to try to change that. But the reality is our triad, our physiology, what we're focusing on, and the language that we're using in our head will overcome all of that. So you can be doing all kinds of things and still not feel the way that you want if your triad isn't where you want it. Now, if you go execute a triad that makes you feel calmer, that makes you feel happier while you're drinking the alcohol, or while you're smoking the cigarette, or while you're taking the gummy, then it will be consistent. If you believe in it, it's going to be consistent. But if you are taking those things and not getting the results that you want, it's because the triad that you're using is overcoming that chemical reaction, which can always happen. You don't need the chemical in order to feel the feeling. If you want to feel a feeling of calm, go back to a time when you felt calm, and you can elicit the recipe for that, and you can redo that recipe anytime you want and feel calm. If you want peace of mind, if you want love and connection, if you want excitement, whatever it is. In fact, tomorrow I'll do that. We'll talk about how to elicit a recipe so that you can feel however you want to feel whenever you want to feel it. Because that's what all of this is designed to do. It's all designed to make it so that we can feel the feelings that we want to feel on a regular basis. For most of us, we have a highway to misery and a dirt road to happiness. We make it incredibly difficult for us to feel happy, and incredibly easy to feel like a failure and to feel, and I'm just as guilty of this as everybody else. What we need to learn how to do is reverse that. That's what we do at Date with Destiny. You need to learn how to reverse that so you feel the feelings that you want to feel all the time. And achievers think, well, that'll make it so I won't be motivated. Actually, the opposite happens. You're actually going to be more motivated. But just understand, how you feel is up to you. You're the one that's in control, and you can decide how you feel at any given time. And you do it with those three things: physiology, the language that you're saying in your head, and your focus/belief, what you're focusing on and what you believe about it. Those three things alone will decide how you feel always. Always. Two people can have the exact same experience and have two completely opposite reactions. That shows you that our response to anything is a choice. Many times we don't make the choice. We hand the choice over to our reactionary system, and we feel like we're out of control. I'm very guilty of this too. But the truth is, we're the ones that can decide how we feel at any time. We can take control of our lives, and you can do that right now and decide from here till I'm done, whenever that is, I'm going to choose how I feel about things. And I might react in a moment, but then I'm going to grab hold of myself and say, nope, this is how I want to feel about this, and I'm going to decide to feel this way. It is well within our grasp, and all the tools are available to learn how to do it. Thank you, everybody. We got a bunch of people on this morning. I got to say hi, my great uncle Bill. Kristen up in Canada, great to see you. I know you're going to be talking to my bride later on this afternoon, I believe. Chris Engel, great to see you, brother. Leah, awesome to see you. Jacqueline, thank you so much for your kind words. Deanne Jennings, happy to have you on as always. Mr. Dakin, Janet, Natalie, great to see you too. Great photos on Facebook. And Lauren, oh my goodness, wave. Everybody wave at Lauren. Everybody do this. Wave, wave, wave. Oh, I love her. I think you're down in Florida, right? So honored that you people take the time to stop on and say hi. Hope you get value. Please leave something in the chat, especially if you want me to talk about a particular topic. We're all in this together. Let's take care of each other. Thank you, everybody.